Good morning to you. It is Wednesday morning. It is the second Wednesday of December, which means what? It must be Success Groups Day. Not only is it Success Groups, however, today, it's also our last one of the year. So it's a time of reflection and projection. So in today's session, we're going to be looking over the best of 2018. We're going to be looking at our current trends, not just from 2018, but going back some time. And we're going to start projecting into 2019 and beyond to see what the future has in store for us. And if we're not happy based on that current trend, what can we do in 2019 in order to change it, potentially, if wanted, radically? You see, this is your life. And it's on a trajectory. The chances are it is improving, even if you're on a bit of a downward spiral at the moment, because things always tend to rebound back up again. So typically you have a bumpy ride, but generally things get better and better gradually and gradually. But if you want radical change, radical growth in your business or in your personal life, then you need to do something to hit it hard in order to change the course of direction. Make sense? It's all forces. Things will continue. A body will continue in a linear way, right? So if you're in this progression, this is kind of how you're going to continue to go, unless it's acted upon by another force. Within that, you're going to have little ups and downs. Don't worry about that. So if you aren't happy with this trajectory, or if you are, in fact, on this trajectory, you need to hit it with something. You need to hit it with another force in order to change it. Those forces will form ultimately your goals. Those goals, you then need discipline, commitment, accountability to make sure you keep turning up and doing what you need to do in order to continue the new path. That's what we do at Success Groups, and today we're really setting up 2019 by looking at where we've come from and therefore plotting where we are most likely heading, and then get involved to make the changes that we want to make and see in our lives and our business. Anyway, I've got it going. It is cold out there. The roads are busy. Apparently Tracy's headed a little bit ahead of me, so I better hit the road. I will check in with you later. I'll share it with you as it unfolds, and I'll also share with you a few little tidbits of wisdom and information that I share at Success Groups today. Have an awesome one. Make sure you do what you need to do in order to hit your life with the forces to give you the outcomes that you want, that take you off to the future that you would choose for yourself. Have an awesome one. I'll check with you in just a little bit. Okay, so we finished the morning session, also had a quick one-to-one after, which is why it's starting to get dark already. It's only 3:20. Anyway, today was all about reflection and projection. And one of the big things we talked about today was looking at our best traits and looking at our less than best traits and seeing them as like ingredients if you're going to try and make a cake. And if you made a cake out of all the negative traits, what kind of cake would that be? And if you made a cake out of all the great ingredients, what would that be like? Now, over the next 12 months or so, people are going to be making their cakes, and they're going to be making them with a mixture of their great ingredients and their not so great ingredients, and therefore the cake's going to come out a little bit of a mixed bag. So what we're looking at here is an analogy and a metaphor, was really looking at the positive ingredients they have as entrepreneurs and imagining what kind of year could they have if they use solely or at least the majority of the positive ingredients next year, compared to if they use solely or the majority of the negative ingredients next year. The difference is huge. Here's the thing, when you start looking looking at your own ingredients as you as an individual, as an entrepreneur, as a person, you start to realize that a lot of your energy is going and cancelling out yourself. So a lot of you is in battle with a lot of you. So for example, you've got some really good focus and motivation and discipline in some areas, but you've also got procrastination and lethargy, etc. in other areas, or doubts or fears, etc. And they're constantly vying all the time. So it can be exhausting just fighting ourselves to get an outcome, because there's these negative aspects and these positive aspects, and they're all vying for outcomes. So one of the things we do here at Success Groups, ongoing all the way, is looking at constantly bringing more of the best of us to our daily businesses, because whilst we're all about personal growth, personal development, adding ingredients, when we look at it in there, most people have already got the majority of the ingredients they need to bake an awesome cake, right? It's just a pinch here and a pinch and a splash and a dash of extra stuff that's needed to really take it to the next level. The majority of their gains and growth are going to come from using what it is they've already got in the right ways, using the best of who they are and pushing away and rejecting some of those negative character traits that hold them back, slow them down, and just make the going tough. It's an ongoing process. You can't do it in one session. You can't do it in one event. You can't do it in one, boot camp or whatever it is. This is something you have to work on over and over again, day in, day out, month in, month out, year after year, and the results, they come. But they come later. You invest now, get the rewards later. Most people want the quick fix. Unfortunately, it does not work. It does not exist. All you'll do is empty your bank balance on some hollow promise from an expert marketing person that knows how to wrap shit up in a way that makes you part with your cash. You're gonna have to dig in. It's an ongoing project. The project is to continually bring more of the best of you, whilst continually reducing the negative aspects that you bring of yourself, whilst adding a little pinch and a little splash here and there as needed. Have an awesome one. I'm going to go home. I'm going to have some lunch, hang out with Tracy, and I'm going to come back and do it all over again. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you've been productive. I'll check in with you later. Okay, so we are back from this evening's session, second verse, same as the first, exactly same content and exactly same outcome in mind. It's the Scrooge, it's the Christmas Carol, it's the ghost of Christmas past, Christmas present and Christmas future. We're looking at how far we've come over the last 12 months, looking at where we are today and looking at where we want to get to in 12 months from now. We were looking at the ingredients that I shared with you earlier, and if we engage one set of ingredients, it might take us to a very different future than if we engage a different set of ingredients. And we were looking at how we can remember what it is we need to remember when we need to remember it. Okay, it's really tough part of personal development. I say this, everyone remembers they're on a diet when they go to bed. Everyone remembers they should have made sales calls at 6 o'clock. The knack is to remember what it is you need to remember when you need to remember it. So we were looking at strategies for that, from putting things in diaries to using the phone and alarms to building in routines into their days and building in disciplines into their days that keeps them accountable to being and doing all they need to in order to create the positive outcome, the positive future that they can create 12 months from now. One of the things we looked at was happiness, and we looked at gratitude, and we looked at basically maintaining the right mental status, if you like, the right mental outlook of life. And of course, it's got to be one of our main goals. Of course, it's one of our big drivers why we do everything we're doing, is we want to have a better experience of life. And we could summarize all of that as happiness. And happiness is a chemistry set, and it's things like purpose, passion, meaning, enjoyment, fun, camaraderie, all these things, right? Pride and everything else. And we'd wrap all of this up and say, I'm happy when you're having this chemistry firing. The good news is actually the chemistry set for happiness is the same chemistry set for positive driving motivation towards success. You can be fear motivated, doubt motivated, guilt, jealousy, envy motivated. It's a terrible power. It's a terrible force to drive you forward. But what you can be is also driven by fun, joy, purpose, passion, meaning, contribution, a sense of pride, etc. So you know what? If you want to be happy, what you've got to do is you've got to have the discipline of focusing on your life and yourself and your business, and you want to really discipline yourself to see yourself in increasingly better ways. You want to see that today's better than yesterday. You want to perceive and see how tomorrow's going to be better than today. If you do that, it removes the brain's need to give you negative chemistry, fear and doubt and anxiety and worry to create change. So you need to perceive that idea that I'm doing okay. The way you do that, today's better than yesterday, tomorrow's going to be better than today. You do it by reflecting, making note, and disciplining yourself to see the gain and the growth that you're making and everything else. The next thing you want to do to bring in happiness is you then want to focus on where you're heading. Have a really aspirational, inspirational, super motivational, exciting future that you're working towards. Bring that into the present. Find the joy and the passion in the day-to-day activity. Be super excited about where it is that you're heading. Do that and you are firing on all cylinders. You're having an awesome experience of life, but also you are engaged with life. You're going to be motivated. You'll be taking action. You'll be waking up early, go to bed late, and you'll be working your ass off towards what it is you're trying to create. You'll be creating an awesome life for yourself. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day right now. Hope you had an awesome day. Hope you've done everything you need to do in order to move your life, your business, and yourself forward. I'll check in with you tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a one-to-one client first thing in the morning, a few bits and pieces, and then it's party time. And of course, I'll share it with you every single step of the way. Have an awesome one. Good night.